And gals, number one, I need to let you understand and know that no, this is not exactly where I want my lighting, but I had to hurry up and set up the camera and everything. Yeah, I'm coming my comb over for a minute. But for those of you to come in, I'm going to talk to you about some things that is very, very important. Oh, my hair's a little bit up. That's the way it is. Let me see. I can back this up a wee bit because I don't really want. Eek, mamma mia. All right, there we go. I don't want to be too close. All right. So, as for those of you who come into the live, you will see that they are terrified of you. And of course, it's like I'm shouting it. They're terrified of you. Like that, right? Well, first of all, I'm Al Torcaso. Quick, fast background. I was on TV as a talk show host for 19 years on actual live television. I was on live television for about 12 years, maybe 13. And 6 before that, I was on, I would submit my episode, and then it would air later. But I was actually on real live TV. The TV series is Humanity Matters Live. Now, I have the thumbnail with me holding up my hands like this with rubber gloves on for this particular live, and I will be using that. Probably a lot of my thumbnails is going to be having that, and if I could find some other angles where I wasn't necessarily holding the gloves, but the rubber gloves were there, and I want you to see that because I want you to know that the person that you're listening to actually says a lot of things that they just don't seem like I could have done them, or anybody could have for that matter. But yet and still, the reality is that I did. I have. We did. Now, I will tell you that I told my co-host when I was on Humanity Matters Live, I said, are you sure you really want to be a co-host? Because when I have to tell it like it is, I'm telling it like it is. So tonight, that's one of the times. I'm Al Torcaso. 412-559-2731 is my contact number. And you read the title right. They are absolutely terrified of you. I want to put that in perspective. This is haunted attractions season, right? A lot of you like those slasher kind of haunted attractions and scary stuff. Well, I got news for you, my friends. There are people on this planet that are more terrified of you than all of those scary horror movies combined. Now, I really can't reach and see the questions. I will try to do that later. It will be an extreme close-up, guys and gals, or a tight shot when I go to read it, because I have a little old phone, a cell phone, and it's like, wait a minute, can't see it. So that you know I'm not ignoring your statements, I want to say hello to everybody and thank all of you for being here. But I'm going to get into the core of what we're talking about here, what I'm talking about. When I say they're afraid of you, I'm deadly serious. This is no game. There are people and corporations on this planet that don't want you to know who you actually are. You see, you are somebody that even you may not know. And you're like, I know who I know. You think you know. My friends, I'm not being condescending. You are more powerful and more intelligent than you have been led to believe. And there's a reason for that. There are certain groups of people, extraordinarily wealthy people, and not all extraordinarily wealthy people are bad. But there are certain groups that want to enslave every human on the planet Earth. Now, they don't necessarily come out and have what we would call traditional slavery, but they have what we call, or can call, in so-called employment slavery. And to give you an idea what I'm speaking about, I want all of you to tell me, whether it's by texting me or in some way after the live making a comment, have you ever heard of the term minimum wage? If you live in America, have you ever heard of minimum wage? Well, let's think about that for a minute. Let's take a minute to think about that. They're actually insulting you in your face. They're saying, we're going to work you as hard as we possibly can and pay you the legal limit, the least amount we could possibly pay you. You're only worth the least amount of money, the minimum wage. Now, those people, a lot of those people are the very people that are scared to death of you. That you're their Freddy Krueger. You're their Voorhees or Jason Voorhees or however you pronounce his name. You're their Freddy Krueger. You're their Michael Myers. You're their anybody. You're their Chucky. You're their Megan. You're whatever movie you can come up with. That's you to them. But see, those are movies. But you're real. That makes them more terrified. Here's the reason. If you knew who you really were completely, and I'm not saying that in an ignorant way. No, I'm on your side. It takes a lot to know the truth. And once you start knowing it, you're going to be one powerful human being. Well, you already are. You just didn't know how powerful you were. So let me get down to it. They don't want you to realize that there's genius in you. Yeah, I'm talking about you. And I'm not joking. They don't want you to know that you are capable of achieving not only greatness, but maybe even inventing the very next thing that the world, the whole globe, starts to use. That could be you. You may be an inventor. You may start an industry. Who knows what you might do? But see, you may not believe that you're capable of it, especially if you fall into what they call the at-risk groups of people, wherever you are. You know, we have segregation, we have oppression and repression and whatever worldwide. We have it in the United States too, big time. So it doesn't surprise me when you are impoverished or you don't have a lot of quote unquote opportunity, or when you're mistreated because of your religion, your race, or what have you. All of that gets you to think, my life don't matter. People don't care about me. Why do you think there's so much crime out there and what we would call, what I wouldn't call it, but black on black crime? Why do you think that is? Or certain groups. Why do you think that is? Because a lot of people, unfortunately, who are of any pigmentation, they don't believe who they are. They don't know that they're important. Ask me what I think of the African American human being. I think their name is important. I think they are important. I don't look at people, oh, he's black, oh, he's white, he's Asian. No. And we need to stop all that. But people that want to keep us down, no, they don't want us to stop that. They want people to not love each other. I'm going to tell you something. I'm considered a white guy. Y'all can tell I'm white, right? I'm not really white. I'm actually of Sicilian descent, Italian. For those of you who may have ever seen Mafia type of movies like The Sopranos, which is a TV series, or The Godfather, yeah, I'm Italian, like that. How you doing? Yeah, like that. It's all good. But most people see me, if they're not what we would call white, they think I'm white. I'm not white. I'm Italian. I'm Sicilian. But having said that, there are areas in this world and in this country that a lot of people who are not of that pigmentation, whatever pigmentation, it may be Asian, it may be Middle Eastern, who knows? It could be Native American. A lot of times people won't go in those areas. And if there has been a propensity of crime, they definitely won't go, right? I go. In fact, I'll tell you a little sidebar that you might get a kick out of. I have an African-American son, or of the pigmentation of black. And I told him one time I went to this concert, and I told him where. He said, man, I wouldn't even go to, what are you, crazy? I said, no, I was fine. But my friends, let me say this clearly. That's what they're afraid of people not being segregated, not being afraid to socialize. You know what? You could be an 18-year-old child, not child, but teenager, or man or woman. I'm not discriminating against you. Are you in a gang? I'm not discriminating against you. I don't want you to be in a gang. I want you to use that intelligence for good. And here's the deal. You might be able to earn more income doing the legitimate stuff than you are doing that. And there is good in everybody. Trust me. But we don't think that. So let me get back to some specifics. In order to prove to you how terrified these people are of you, the bad ones. Now remember, extreme wealth is not bad inherently. What is bad is when people are abusing, using, exploiting, mistreating, which unfortunately is worldwide and way too bad. But I'm trying to give you a couple of examples of what I'm getting at. Let's say that you used to work in a telecommunications telephone company here in America. Do you know that the majority of times when I call my wireless or telephone service, I get people from India, the Philippines, sometimes South Africa, Latin America, and Central America, and other places, every now and then. Now, that's great that other people are having employment. But these companies are not doing that to help those people, our brothers and sisters from other countries. They're doing it so that they don't have to pay a decent wage to the people in America and Canada and even possibly sometimes Mexico. They're doing it to enslave more people, to take advantage of people. There are places on this planet and countries that people earn not even dollars a day. Some people earn in certain countries literally pennies a day. These are the people who are terrified of you. If you knew the things that you are capable of, our governments of the planet would be, I'm sorry, but they would be having to go to the bathroom. Both bathrooms, by the way. So let me give you some 411 here real quickly. I'm going to give you some homework today for those of you who stick around. And I know you're probably like, no, you ain't. It's all good. See, this homework could get you potentially a lifetime of where you're the boss, where you earn your money. And every time there is a sale, for lack of a better term, you get paid. But you get paid way more than minimum wage. Frankly, probably more than living wage. And I kid you not, you actually have a chance to become wealthy. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight. I'm not God. But I do know for a fact there are people in these very countries that literally were almost starving who right now are earning money 24 hours a day. And they started from $0, $0. Now, the bad people would want to kill me, literally kill me for telling you this. You think I'm kidding, but I'm not. I'm serious. But I'm going to scare you about right now. You thought you liked your horror, your haunted attractions. What I'm about to tell you might just make you have to go to the restroom. Not literally. But guys and gals, I'm putting you on notice. You have genius in you. And you are a lot smarter than you may even realize. But I'm going to throw something that's going to really shock you. You know how we have this election coming up in November in the United States? No matter which side wins, you're not going to probably see a lot of massive changes unless we lose a lot of more of our rights, which is possible, unfortunately. But did you know you have the power to change it? And not just by quote unquote voting. No. You have a way more power than that. Did you know you have more power than presidents, kings, queens, dictators? You have more power, my friends. All of us combined have more power than any government or any leader on earth. Yeah. And I'm going to give you a little quick example. And this is another reason why they're scared to death of you. Because if you start utilizing that power and not using it in certain ways, and then using your brain to get ahead, do you know what that will do to their income? And you may become a competitor. It can happen with God's mighty help. And if you're an atheist, I love you too. Did you know that every day you use power, you use more power than a president of the United States? You do that every day. And I'm going to prove it to you. Today, a lot of you have gone to work, right? Didn't you have to get a bus or a train or subway or your own vehicle? That took money. You had to make the conscious choice to utilize that money to get to that job. But that took money. Our money is one of the most powerful tools on the face of the earth in every country. Economies only exist when the citizens, or even non-citizens, spend money. So you see, every time you spend a penny, you're using your power. That's one piece of your power. One little bit, not piece, but yeah, I guess one piece of the puzzle. So let me give you an example. Let's say you went to that well-known latte place that people like to go and get a latte that's about $5 or $6, or who knows what it is now. You took that money, my friends, your money that you earned, and you gave it to them. Now let's hold the phone for a minute. Now, imagine this. All of a sudden, you decide, instead of getting that drink, I'm going to put it in an investment. I'm going to put it in one of these new apps. Or I'm going to leave it in my house in a safe place that nobody can steal it. And you can start saving it. Now, you're taking money out of that economy. All of a sudden, that coffee place could potentially be losing money. Guess what happens next? What happens if 1,000, 10,000, 1,000,000, 20 million people stop going there on a regular basis, or even altogether? And that could be any business. You know what happens? People panic. The companies panic. And this could be applied to everything you spend money on. It could affect Amazon. It could affect the Walmarts, everything. You have the power. And if you don't believe me, you remember COVID a few years ago? Do you know the real reason why so many Americans got quote unquote surplus checks or stimulus checks? I'm sorry, stimulus. Do you know the real reason? the one they didn't want to share with you, that they lied about. This is why so many companies, organizations, and you got free money, or so-called free money. Because if they didn't do that, our economies of every nation would have died and dead. And the wealthy, and frankly, almost everybody, need that. You need it, I need it. But therein lies a lesson. I had been saying this could happen way before COVID on my TV series. And COVID came to pass, unfortunately. And basically the world shut down. We all remember that, right? Put a number 1 in the chat if you remember that. Seriously, participate. I love all of you. I'm not disrespecting you by not answering your statements or questions. I can't literally see them unless you want me to go like this and be up in your face. I will be up in your face at one point to look at some of them, but I really don't want to do that. I'm working on getting my other means to see the text. But right now, I really can't see it. So what I would appreciate from everybody who wants to make a comment, I would appreciate, once this is in what we would call the live, after the live, or whatever, like, it's archived or whatever, put a comment there. And I will, if I can see the comment, I will respond to it. In other words, after the real live's on. Because I can't really do it unless I'm right up in here. And I don't think that that's professional. But let's get back to the COVID thing. And put a 1 in the chat if you remember it. But the bottom line is most of the world shut down. So that's why so many countries, and including America, essentially gave money away. They had to. Oh, let's see, I'm going to have to go here. Sorry, I'm going to have to show you my comb over. Thank you. Looks like sun. I hope it says sun. It looks like sun. Like I said, I have a little bit of a challenge with my eyesight, just a wee bit, but I will get to it. So I'm not disrespecting anybody, but that's how I would have to read it. I'm pretty sure you don't want to see my comb over up close. If you don't want to see my comb over, say no. No, I'm just kidding. You don't have to say that. If you want to say no, that's all right. But getting back to the COVID situation. See, here's the real reason why. The reason why so much money was given out to so many people in every nation or a lot of nations is without that money, pretty much society would have collapsed, which would have been tragic and terrible. But also, more importantly, I'd say they were doing it for that reason, but I'm going to go deep, deep, deep. I say the wealthiest people on earth were like, you better start getting me paid again. That's right, like the bigwigs. They were like, you better find a way to get money into people's hands because we want our money. Now, I hate to say this, but most of our governments are controlled by the super wealthy. And keep in mind, not everybody that's super wealthy is bad, but I'm talking about the ones that are bad. So they probably contacted every government and said, look, I still want my money. You need to get my money. And the bottom line is, we witnessed it. So, yes, there are super wealthy people that have great influences and may control the United States government, the Canadian government, the Chinese government, the Afghanistan government, the Russian, anyone you can name, the Italian government, the French, it doesn't matter, the Jamaican government. The point is, this is one group of people, or maybe multiple groups, that are super wealthy and secretive. I'm talking about if you tried to get into their stuff, you would be taken out. And I don't mean for chicken. You would have been killed. That's how secretive they are. Yes, they control a lot of stuff. And I would presuppose that when COVID hit, There were a group of those people basically forcing governments of this planet, including America, to essentially give money away. Because without the economy, without you, ma'am and sir, they're done. Now, conversely, let's tell you another why they're afraid, another reason why they're terrified of you. And I'm going to let you know, we've seen evidence of this in a lot of ways. Corporations want you to be a servant, and I'm not trying to disrespect slaves that were whipped and or killed, and still in different parts of the world, including America, by the way, are beaten up and all kinds of terrible things. Still, unfortunately, exists. We don't hear about it. We may not know about it on a personal basis, but it does. But see, the kind of slavery I'm talking about is economic slavery. And they want people to be enslaved, beholden to them, or I could say servants. That's why they want us to have jobs. Almost everybody you know probably has a job. The groups of people that are bad want you to have a job. What do I want you to have? I sure don't want you to have a job. Now, some of you probably want to say some foul language at me. No. You're going to like, I think, what I'm about to tell you. You see, I want you to be financially free, and you have the potential. I'm not God. I can't tell you it's going to happen for sure, but you have the potential to become free financially and in every other way. And once you have that money coming in, you have true freedom. Why? Because you have the freedom to take care of your health, your food. You can move wherever you want, just about on the planet Earth. They don't want you to do that. Absolutely not. They need you to work at their warehouses. They need you to work at their department stores or their clubs, like the big box, I guess warehouse clubs or whatever you want to call it. Every company on earth needs you. That's right. So what happens if all of a sudden you listen to this guy with the comb over, and all of a sudden you go to that website? I'm not going to say it here. You'll have to look for it on my YouTube page, on other stuff. What happens if you listen and you learn and you get inspired and you actually share the 5-minute video and you earn some money? What happens then? Well, your brain, I'm just using my brain to give you a demonstration, but your brain says, hey, wait a minute. I shared a 5-minute video and I earned more money sleeping than I did yesterday, just about. Now, I'm going to share one thing about the company, well, maybe more, but every time an affiliate, in my particular company that I'm in, now, and it does relate to why they're terrified of you, by the way, so it is relevant. Let's say you get one affiliate in. You're going to earn $25 like that. What if you have 4 friends that all of a sudden, hey, I'm going to get in too? That's $100. That's $100, right? And it can add up. Now, I'm not going to tell you about the business in this particular live, but I'm going to tell you that if you want to be the champion that my great friend Ivan Harris Sr. says you are, you're going to have to start waking up to the reality that you have genius in you. You have the power. You have the brain power. If not, and I have mine, you have yours. Now I'm going to share a little something with you. My own personal life. Let me tell you a little secret. Back in the day when I was in high school, I was physically beat up every single day because of my heart issue. Every day I was beat up. every day, by just about everybody. Okay? So I quit going to school. You want to know what the school did? The students abused me, the system abused me, and the teachers abused me. Now, am I angry about it? No. Bless their hearts. I have to forgive them. I don't have to, but I chose to. But here's the point. Because of that, I was misdiagnosed. Since I didn't go to school, instead of finding out why I'm not going or doing something about it, they decided to label me. And as a result of the terrifying abuse, when I was in school, are you ready for this? Don't fall off the seat if you're sitting. You hear how much I can speak now. Do you know when I was in school, I barely said one word. I was so quiet, people sometimes thought I was asleep. I know you all might be like, yeah, right. I'm telling you. But when I started becoming aware of stuff in my life in 2004, I went from like not speaking at all to running an absolutely hands-on television series program. Then I said, a few years after that, I said, you know what? I'm going to try going live. I was on live TV, ladies and gentlemen. Live television, call in, similar to this. But I could actually see that and answer people. Sorry, YouTube, I got to tell it like it is. And I did interact with my callers and my viewers. I had people tell me I said stuff that saved their lives. And you know what my reply was? I was the messenger. That came from God. But here's the point. I didn't say almost any words. Now, look what I'm doing. My point is, let's say you're being bullied right now by, who knows, your parents, your friends, or not friends, but people in school, so-called friends. You're being pressured. They're saying if you don't smoke, you're a chicken, whatever. All that doesn't matter. What matters is you use your brain. But I'm here to tell each and every one of you, whether you're here for 2 seconds or until I'm done, you matter to me. That's why I'm here right now. I'm here because of you. Make no mistake about it. I don't need to do this. I'm not arrogant. I don't need to do this. As a matter of fact, you know what I did, what I've done in order to make this on time? I sacrificed eating my dinner. I'm not eating anything until I'm done. Now I woke up and I had some pain in my left-hand side. Did I let it stop me? No, because you matter. That's right. Like my great friend Ivan says. That's what I think of you. But let me throw down something. You're not dumb. You're not worthless. You are not disposable. You may be a 17-year-old African American. You matter to Albert Torcaso. And if I get a little bit fired up, I'm sorry. But I don't like the way our fellow human beings are treated. I don't like abuse of anybody. Sorry, I'm going to get a little bit tired and fired up. I got to calm down. I don't like how people are treated because of the color of their skin or what they believe or what they don't believe. It's sickening. It's deplorable and it's evil. And it's satanic, actually. There is no difference. We are human beings. All of you matter. And all of you have brains in your head. And all of you are smart. Now y'all might be like, you don't know me. I don't need to know you to know that there's genius in you. You can't disprove it. Because I know of you. I mean, come on, people, my friends and family out there. I went from no words to being fired up on a live without any food And with pain in the left side, police, that pain has gone away. I defeated the pain. And I'm going to defeat evil. And so are you. So here's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to give you a couple of challenges. That's right. I'm going to challenge you to either look me up on YouTube or look me up on Google, to look up Humanity Matters Live and look at some of the episodes, random episodes, anything. There's a reason why I'm asking you to do this. I want you to know when I say it, I mean it. But I'm also the guy who took on multi-billion-dollar industries and behind the scenes also. And some of the actions I took contributed to multi-billion-dollar industries having to make changes. And our governor of our state, the state of Pennsylvania, I specifically talked to his people and other people, and laws were changed. And why did I do that? Because it was wrong what they were trying to do. You got that same power. But I want to get ready to not so much close, but I want to get you moving in the right direction. Now, they're already terrified of you because without your money, the world doesn't have an economy. If you don't go to that fast food restaurant, or no one goes, boom, they're out of business. If you don't buy stuff at wherever you go, that company is done. It doesn't matter if it's the most profitable company on the face of the earth. Without you, bang, boom, they're done. That restaurant, done. That clothing store, sports store. Guess what? The NFL, without the fans and without the purchases of gear or swag, there's no NFL. It would stand for no football league. There's no NBA or nothing. The point I want you to know is you are the driver. You're one of the drivers. We're all the drivers. But together, we drive the economies of the planet. All of us do. Doesn't matter if you're in a terrible country with a dictator or not. You are the ones. Now, what we need to do is start using our brain and changing things. So after you look me up on Google by looking up Albert Torcaso, Torcaso, Google, YouTube, whatever, I want you to realize that when I talk to you about businesses in those other videos, I'm so serious. I'm more serious than 1 billion or 100 trillion heart attacks. That's how serious I am. And I want you to feel confident that if you decide to get into a business or the one I'm in, you're going to have what you need. If you choose to use it, that's on you, my friends. But if you do use it, there's a really good chance that you're going to be earning some money. And for the record, I told you about how much you would get if somebody became an affiliate. Yeah, there are other ways to be paid, yes. But this is not that live. I will tell you this company is the most legitimate company I've ever been in. And I've been in companies for over 12 years. It's most legitimate. But I want you to do me a favor. I want you to realize that you can get every horror movie and combine it in every haunted attraction throughout history, not just now, and throughout the entire earth and history. Put them all together. And I want you to realize that these people that help to usually control the economies of the world, and unfortunately, the majority of people, they're more terrified of you than all of those movies, and shows and books and audios, whatever you can come up with combined. I want you to realize that you are the most, we as a people are the most terrifying entity to them. Now, I'm going to give you a little something. Some of these people realize that there's going to come a day when we are going to, hopefully legally and peacefully, we're going to have justice. So what I found out recently is there's actually people hiring ex-military to guard them because they're terrified. They're literally terrified. You can look it up on YouTube. Unfortunately, I don't know the name of the video or who it was by right now, but there are people that are actually making bunkers, hiring ex-SEALs and other military people from around the globe. That's how scared they are, because they know that at some point they're going to have to pay for all this extraordinary exploitation. They're going to have to. And even if they get by on Earth, one day there's going to be a judgment day. For those of you who are atheists, trust me, guys and gals, there's going to be one. I know you don't believe it. There's going to be one. Just because you don't believe something doesn't mean it isn't real. Just because you don't believe something doesn't mean that it doesn't have consequences if you don't believe it. I'm not going to get into religion, but I'm telling y'all, there's going to come a day. Now, I want all of you to understand something. There's a lot of bad stuff that a lot of people are doing. So we're going to do good stuff. So I got some homework for you. I have some. Here's what I want you to do. Yeah, you can look me up if you want to. That's fine if you don't. But I need you, for your own sake, to go to other videos here on YouTube. And you look up Les Brown's story. Les Brown, L-E-S space B-R-O-W-N, Les Brown. You find out about Les's story. And I want you to find out about Tim Miller's story, M-I-L-L-E-R, on YouTube and or Facebook. As a matter of fact, go to Tim Miller's Facebook page, and it might be Tim Miller or it might be Timbo. That's his nickname. Find out about these two men's stories. And then try telling me that because of who you are or your ethnic, your pigmentation or where you're from, try giving me an excuse. Try telling me, oh, well, I have this, I have that. There's not a thing on the planet you can tell me that I'm going to give you a pass on. I'm not. Why do I say that? Well, because Tim and others had some serious physiological challenges, and they achieved extraordinary success. That's you. Not the disabled part, hopefully, but you have it. You think I'd be on here telling you this if I didn't know it was the case? You think I would be doing lives when I'm not exactly where I want to be, but I'm getting there? Guys and gals, you just don't realize you have the power to be honest with you. Not only do you have the power to earn a living as your own boss, as the CEO of your own business, but I'm going to tell you something that might get you a little angry. And I'm serious. It might. Matter of fact, I'm going to get real close, real tight shot. I might actually even look at some of these comments. Give me a New York second here. There's a reason why I'm getting up here like this. I'm sorry I have to do a tight shot like this or a close-up, but it is what it is. And I don't particularly want you to see the background, but it is what it is. It's like that. That's the way it is, like Run DMC said from all those years ago. You have the potential to earn as much income as you could ever want. I told you you might not like it. How much money could you possibly earn? Well, guess what, guys and gals? There's no limit. Not with the company I'm in. No, there's not. Now, I'm not telling you the company. I'm not giving you the link. You'll have to look for that. It's not that I don't want to, but I don't want you to think I'm that guy selling pillows on TV. That's not me. I'm selling you on you. So understand this. There are people right now that started from zero that are making over $1 million a year, earning over $1 million a year, and soon to be over probably 2 to 3 million a year. Started from zero. So how did they do it? Well, in a lot of ways, here's what they did. They did the same thing that I'm doing, the same thing that one of the things that you would be doing. They shared a 5-minute free tour video. That's it. And they kept sharing it and sharing it and sharing it multiple times a day. I know for a fact, Tim Miller, man, he don't only just share stuff, he tells it like it is. And he don't mind people know how much he said some stuff on his Facebook. Now, let me take a look at this for a New York second. I know I hate to do it like this, but well, first of all, I may just spell your name. I don't want to mispronounce it. All right, we got Ovaka, possibly. I'm just going to spell A-V-O-C. I'm having a hard time with the light. It's either A-V-O-C-E or A. Want to say hi to y'all? Some people said some ignorant stuff, but that's all right. What are you saying about? Okay, that was, I can't tell the name. It was in a different language. A lot of people are saying some nasty stuff. Bless your heart, you'll be all right. You'll be all right. Look, that don't bother me. It's not going to work. Bless your hearts. Love you anyway. Oh, no. God, you just insulted, said he loved you. Oh, my goodness. Bless your heart. You'll be all right. But the bottom line is I'm getting ready to close down. Got to eat my salad or something. You have that potential by sharing a 5-minute free tour video. Now, I know a lot of you can't handle that because I'm not insulting you, but because the world is the way that it is. Now, what happens though if you do go and you find yourself sharing it and people are actually like, wow. Because I'm going to tell you something. This company that I'm in, that I'm not mentioning the name, you will hear about it. And I'm going to throw something at you. You will be either a customer, an affiliate, or a member of it. Newsflash, it's going to happen. Not because I'm telling you what to do, not because they're telling you what to do, but this company, when we expand the way that we are, one day we're going to be competition for a company that starts with the letter A and has a special day every year or a couple of days. I think we all know which one I'm talking about, and I am talking about the one you might think. We'll be their competition. Here's the difference. You can get billions of discounts and deals on that letter A site and others. But you know what you can't get? You can't earn money when you refer somebody, they become an affiliate or member and join. You don't get paid for that. Or if you go to one of these warehouse clubs and you tell your friends they get a membership, you don't get paid for that. Here, if you do that, you share the video and they become an affiliate or member, you get paid. And trust me when I tell you, breaking news, guys, and I don't mean this in a mean way, but I'm going to have to call it like I see it, with or without you. I am going to be one of the top affiliates in that company. I'm going diamond. What you see here behind me is not the final part of the story. It's not. And I will be a diamond. With God's mighty help. I will be a diamond with God's mighty help. I said I will be a diamond with God's mighty help. There's a reason why I said it 3 times, by the way. That's another time. I'm going to throw something at the people who wanted to insult me. I love you. Deal with that. That's right. Deal with it. I love you. I'd love to see them in this business. I'd love to see you in this business. Why, Al? Why, so you get paid? No. Because I don't want you to be forced to work a day job. Now, when you do get in this business, until you actually earn at least as much as you do at that day job, you keep the day job. And I'm proud of everybody that has a day job. Don't get me wrong. It's not that. It's the opposite of that. You see, I believe you deserve more than you get. I've seen people working at a big box store, struggling, working, physically hurting their bodies even, and being loyal to these companies. And the companies they're not loyal to you. Get hurt at one of them, and they're going to try to not even pay for your medical bills. I know for a fact, because I knew somebody that happened to, more than one. So yeah, I don't want you to be mistreated. Then we look at the Native American and the history of, unfortunately, of America. I don't want them mistreated. We look at the Asian Americans back in the day in the 17 and 1800s. I was alive, but I don't want them mistreated. I don't want anybody mistreated. And I really would love the situation be where these companies had a choice. I don't care what the company is. I would love a situation. And one day I believe this is going to happen. They're going to be put in a position where they're going to have to pay people a huge amount of money. Minimum wage will be like gone. You know what? It will become maximum wage. Why? Because they won't have any employees. If the majority of us have found ways to get our own businesses and we're earning money, we don't need them. They need us. Right? You don't think that can happen, right? Trust me, it can. Because here's the deal. Who's going to stock everything? Yeah, you can have your automated systems. You can have your robots. I agree with you. But only to a certain point. So you can even have your artificial intelligence to a certain point. But they're always going to need humans for some jobs. You are in the driver's seat, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't believe me, start doing your own research. Start looking in life. And I'm telling you right now, when I say that these people who want to control the world are terrified of you, think about it. A lot of them are hiring military teams that were former SEALs, Marines, or whatever, or wherever they live. That's how terrified they are, literally. And you might be able to find it on YouTube. I don't know what you would look up, but I'm sure you can find it. That tells us something, friends. But more importantly, you look at COVID. We were basically forced to stay home. But what happened? What did we do? People ordered food online or through their phone and all that stuff, right? But a lot of people lost a lot of money. What happened? Governments of the world gave a lot of people stimulus money, free money, because they knew they needed to get that money in there. So guess what? On November the 5th, Vote. And I hope that this country does the right thing. But you definitely have to vote if you're 18 or older. You do. You have to. But more importantly, choose where, how, and when you spend your money. And if you don't believe this experiment works, you go back to how bad it was economically in COVID time. Go ahead, do some studying. But I can guarantee you one thing. These companies do not want to see that ever happening. I don't ever want to see that happen again. But all of you have power. All of you have genius. I would love for you to start a business. Doesn't have to be mine. I'd like that too, obviously. But what you do need to do is realize you have power. So if you're being discriminated against, if you are being systematically picked on, overlooked, it doesn't matter in the larger sense, because your brain will take you out of that. You will get your justice and your equality. But you're not going to get it if you don't take the actions. It starts by saying that you're willing to do it. Now, let me give you your assignment so I can get out of here and finally eat something. I'm going to give you an assignment because if I do these things and it benefits you, it's worth it. First of all, look up on YouTube. You want to look up Ivan Harris Sr. Yes, my friend and family member, Ivan Harris Sr. You want to look up Dr. Joe Dispenza. You want to look up Dr. Bruce Lipton. Of course, you want to look up Les Brown. You want to learn about Tim Miller's life and a few other people. Now, here's the deal. Every single day, I don't care which man or woman you look at on video, every single day, you're going to listen to one of these men for at least 5 minutes. Or women. 5 minutes. So jot that down in your app. Get it in your brain. There is no excuses. This is not negotiable. Non-negotiable. It's time you get what you deserve. It's time you are not forced to be stuck in the situation you're in. I sure ain't going to be in there. It may look like it, but I'm moving and grooving. Trust me. Now, your next assignment is, ready for this? Believing that you can achieve it. It doesn't matter what you're going through. Of course it matters, but you can get over it. I promise you that. And even if you have a bad medical situation, been there, done that. I'm still here. I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm not going to give up on you, including the ones that were nasty. They can't get rid of me. I'm like the seasons. You think I'm gone, and sooner or later, boom, I'm back, baby. No offense. I wasn't trying to be ignorant or anything, but I'm back like the seasons. Now, I will share something with you, though. You look at some of my videos from Humanity Matters Live, and you see how tough I was on some people, including the Democrats and including the Republicans. You might be like, man, that guy wasn't kidding when he said he could have got shot. I wasn't kidding, guys. Now, in closing, I got to tell you about the rubber gloves real quickly. I knew people who had mental health issues. And there were places that they would go that's supposed to help them. Like it may be therapy. It may be like a recreational type of deal. So I happened to learn about a group of people who were staff members who were mentally, psychologically, and in some ways physiologically abusing the people they were supposed to be protecting. And one of the main bosses knew it was going on. Well, this particular boss and others we're not doing anything about it. So I created an episode. It was Humanity Matters Live, Abuse Me Not. Now, in the beginning, I had these rubber gloves on that you've seen in the thumbnail, hopefully. And at one point, I literally, in the episode, I said the gloves are off, and I ripped them off. And the gloves really were literally off, but they were in a lot of ways off. Ultimately, because of my advocacy and others, both on the TV and behind the scenes, a law in Pennsylvania was changed. One incident that really ticked me off, excuse my language, but made me mad, was there was a man that would go to this recreational place. And he didn't have money to pay for lunch. It was like $1 a day, but he was on some kind of funds and he just didn't have the money. So somebody would make him a lunch, but he needed it warmed up in the microwave. This person would consistently not warm up his food and say, if you don't pay us, you don't eat. Basically, that's abuse. And one of the bosses knew, so they didn't want to do anything about it. So I took action. That's what I do. I fight for what's right, legally, peacefully, ethically, morally, and spiritually, but I don't play. Trust me, I don't play. So that's what the rubber gloves is all about. And on YouTube, it's on there. I don't remember how many years ago it was. I think it might have been something like 14 years ago, but it's on there. You can look it up under Albert Torcaso, Torcaso. Look, we don't take that anymore. We do it legally. We do it peacefully and financially and ethically and morally and spiritually in some cases, but we don't play. Now, in closing, if you want to change your life, you have more than enough power to do it. You have the intelligence and you have the opportunity. I want you to do me a favor, though. If you go ever watch another horror movie or go to a haunted attraction or any of that stuff, get yourself scared, have your fun, but know that you're more terrified than anything you'll ever see or witness. I mean, have fun with, go to. There's not a horror attraction, a movie, or anything on earth that's more frightening to these people than you and me. We scare them. That's why they have the bodyguards. But ironically, and almost in a funny, sad, funny way, is they're hiring mercenaries and they're hiring ex-SEALs and stuff. Do you really think that the ex-SEALs and what have you, when stuff goes down, God willing, it never will. It will be legal and peaceful, but do you think they're going to protect these deplorable, evil, sickening people? They're going to turn on them pretty fast. So the best protection that these men and women can have is change their ways and start paying people and start caring about people. Because there's no way in the world they're going to be protected. Otherwise, they may think they are. But remember, guys and gals, you got homework to do now. Check out YouTube. But I want you to say to yourself, I do have the power. Start not using your money or as much. And then tell your friends and family and everything. If we all collectively start doing that, watch and see how quickly whatever government it is gets nervous. You don't think so? Like I said, remember, go back to COVID. Don't ever go back. Don't ever go back. But you get what I'm saying. So in closing, look up those videos of Les, Ivan, the two doctors, and Tim. Get yourself a side hustle. Get it. I didn't say think about it. I said get it. Preferably when you get it, you'll get something where you're not losing money. I don't want you to lose money. I want you to have the potential to earn it. Remember that now. And remember that my texting number is 412-559-2731. Oh, and by the way, everything I said here, if you do the research, you can pretty much back it up. I won't be playing, especially when it comes to people's lives. Now, I love all of you. And frankly, since voting is November the 5th, 2024 in the United States of America, and we have candidates campaigning for office, they like to say, I approve of this message. Well, I'm El Torcaso, and I approve of this live and message because I approve of you having abundance, justice, and prosperity. Thank you for watching. I love y'all. I'm going to do my best to answer these questions, or at least in some way acknowledge it the next time I do a live. Like I said, it's hard for me to see it right now. I have a little cell phone. I hope you all understand. Love you no matter what. God bless you. Thanks for tuning in. You do matter, ladies and gentlemen, and you can win and will.